Yeah, the Jets are one that I felt. I mean, I think it does largely come down to Rodgers. I think I expected. I think it would have been interesting to see last year play out without Rodgers getting injured. 'Cause I think I expected that season's team to be better, and I think it would have been. But then they just went through like a whole season of like Rodgers got injured, and then the whole thing was a mess. And and then and then this year just felt like a mess from the start, and Rodgers is contributing to it, and it seems like nobody has each other's back. And I think it's the difference between like the Viking season also went awry in a very similar way last year, but they held together a little bit better. Um,
I mean, they ended with the same record.
yeah, yeah, but
You're just saying as far as morale and temperament on the team.
it felt like there was um, a much easier pathway for the Vikings to make it to the playoffs than the Jets last year. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
and
The
and
Jet,
and then coming into this year, they're all like back and energized and better than before, whereas the Jets have definitely like whew, went way over the hill, and I think it's a testament to the health of the organizations. Like I think the Jets are just organizationally a mess.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I think there's the whole debate of who's at fault, and obviously Robert Saleh was the first to get hung for it, but I think the owner is the one at fault. Like that's
Yeah,
he's the one that is not. Yeah, but for me personally, one of the evidences of that is that he thought trading for Rodgers would be a good idea from a franchise
yeah,
perspective, or even
yeah.
just like I'm not taking anything away from what Rodgers has done. He is a Hall of Fame QB, 100%.
Right.
But his last year was pathetic. It was not good. And they didn't, I mean, they missed the playoffs for one thing. They did still manage to beat the Vikings at least once. I think they won the game in Lambeau. Um, but then even like it seemed to me you didn't really do much research on him as a like if you're going to bring in a big trade, wouldn't you? Because the Packers were fraught with some locker room issues and tensions that year, and him like blaming
Yeah.
his young receivers for not
Oh
catching
yeah,
things and
yeah.
stuff. And well, you're getting
They were
very
young.
similar
Yeah.
stuff now with
Such
young
an arrogant
receivers. In yeah,
Aaron, Aaron Rodgers. He's like one of the most arrogant, unaccountable um athletes I've ever witnessed.
he's an example of someone who has incredible personal skill and leaned
Right.
on that and did not like let his character. I don't know that his character was always so kind of raunchy, but his character definitely slid, and then his body's getting old, and so his skill is diminishing. He still has
Yeah.
the IQ of like what to do in football situations, but like not all these interceptions are Garrett Wilson's fault or Mike Williams' fault.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, let's that's kind of me reveling in some like I didn't think they would be good.
What
Take
is the
that.
German word? Schadenfreude? Whatever.
I've heard that word. What does it mean?
It's like the word that describes the pleasant feeling you get at seeing your enemies stumble.
Oh yeah, I now remember looking that up once. Yeah, yeah, I'm
Like
experiencing
the little
some.
bit of pleasure of seeing people
Well,
get destroyed.
yeah. In all fairness, I don't think it's pleasure in seeing people get destroyed. It's a satisfaction in that, yeah, what I thought I saw coming actually did come. Does that make sense? Like I
Yeah, I
don't.
mean, I think that's still a little bit within Schadenfreude, but
I certainly don't take
like
joy in seeing Jets fans go through this misery.
sure, sure, yeah, yeah. But in seeing someone like Aaron Rodgers, particularly to us as Vikings fans, like be revealed to the
Yeah, but
world, it's like
yeah, I don't know. Maybe people need to do some therapy on me. To me, it's like that was a first guess. Like that was not a good idea.
yeah,
And I mean, we obviously nobody watching this or listening to this, they just have to take our word for it. But we WhatsApped about it back then, and
yeah,
I complained all last season that Rich Eisen was whining on his show because, like, I was so bummed when Aaron Rodgers got injured because it delayed the inevitable. Like, I wish they would have seen last year that Rodgers isn't going to
sure,
take you to the playoffs. He's not going to take you to get you a Super Bowl. Um,
yeah,
Not because I don't like Rodgers. And that's kind of why that's my thrust of like why I'm affectionate about love. It's like this is a rival team. I don't like the Packers, but you got to admit love is good and you have to admit
yeah,
Rodgers was good. I'm saying Rodgers is not good. Period. Like
yeah,
he's not coming back. The MVP Rodgers is not walking through that door. We saw it in
yeah,
2022. There was significant difference in the way he played, and I would actually argue I saw some of it in 21 already, even when he won his MVP. Like to me, it felt like he was stuffing his stats a little bit that year. Like in games that mattered, he didn't actually play that well, but he played really good statistically. He 13 and
yeah.
3 and like led the league in yardage and touchdowns and fewest receptions, fewest interceptions. Um, Yeah, he won the MVP with the fewest receptions. So I don't think it's this like I'm I'm just delighting in Rodgers' downfall. More it's like I think I could be a professional football scout. He like just asked me. It's like, hey, should we invest in this guy?
Let me check my gut feeling.
No, that's what
Um,
I'm saying. It wasn't a gut. It
yeah,
was like you
yeah,
could see it with your eyes. That
observations. Yeah, yeah. I, yeah, I do
now,
find it like even. Go ahead.
well, I was gonna say we could switch the tables a little bit and talk about teams that I thought would be bad, who actually are good,
Yeah,
and
yeah.